Wanderer of the Wasteland by Zane Grey, Chapter 19, Part 2. Adam braced his brawny shoulder under the bulge of a rock weighing tons. Purple grew his face. His muscles split his shirt. His bones cracked, but there was a nameless joy in this exercise of his enormous strength. They were two men. One was weak, the other was strong, and nature could not abide both. The huge rock grated, groaned, stirred, moved, and turned over, slowly to roll, to crunch, to pound, and then to gather speed, growing a thing of power, ponderous and active. At last it hurtled into the air and plunged down with thunderous crash. Then it rolled straight as a bee line at Veery. But a few yards in front of him it rose aloft with something of grace, airily, and whiling over Veery's head, it banged and boomed out of sight below. The echoes clapped long, and at last there was silence. The speaking silence of that place closed on the slope. It awoke again to Adam's rolling of a stone, and another, and then two together. All these rocks rolled differently. They were playthings of the god of the mountain. The mover of thunderbolts might have been aiming his colossal missiles at an invisible target. All these stones seemed to head straight for Veery, but they were at the last instant deflected by chance. They hit the slope and passed wide or high. They were in league with the evil spirit that had dominated Veery. They were instruments of torture. They were of the nature of the desert. They belonged to Death Valley. Adam didn't soon tire of his gigantic task. The rolling of stones fascinated him. From dead things they leaped to life. How they hurtled through space. Some shot aloft 100 feet, others split and rolled like wheels down and down, the halves passing on either side of the doomed Veery. A multitude of rocks Adam turned loose, and then another multitude. His intent to kill went into the heaving of every one, but Veery bore a charmed life. A time came when Adam rolled his last stone. Like the very first one, it sped straight for Veery, and just as it appeared about to crush him, it veered to one side. Adam stared, grim and aghast. Could he never kill Veery? The way that Veery had murdered his own wife and tried to kill him? She said, "I'd never kill you," panted Adam, and the doubt in him was a strange, struggling thing. It was soon beaten down by his insatiable rage. Then he took a stride downward, meaning to descend and finish Veery with his hands. As he stepped down, the avalanche below grated with strange, harsh sounds that seemed to warn him. Halting, he gazed with clearer eyes. What was this change in Veery? Adam bent and peered. Had the man's hair turned snow white? Adam made another, longer stride downward. At that instant, the slope trembled. Veery flung up his arms as if to ward off another rolling stone. A rending as of rock-bound fastness of the slope yielding its hold, then the avalanche, with Veery in the center. It moved downward slowly, heaving like a swell of weighted waves, and started to roll with an angry roar. It gathered a ponderous momentum. Not on that slope would it ever stop again. A shining red-tinged dust cloud shrouded Veery, and then the avalanche, spilling over the declivity below, shocked the whole mountain slope and lifted to the heavens a thick, crashing, rolling roar of thunder. Death Valley engulfed the hollow echo and boomed thunder across to the battlements of the Funeral Mountains. And when the last rumble wore away, silence and solitude reigned, pervasive and peaceful, as they had in the ages before man, with his passions, had evolved to vex nature. End of chapter 19.